Imagine a sickness that doesn't just spread through coughs and sneezes, but through uncontrollable laughter, or an insatiable urge to dance until you collapse. Imagine a disease so swift and terrifying it could kill you within hours, leaving doctors baffled for centuries. We often think of plagues as simple contagions, but history holds chilling accounts of ailments so bizarre, so defying of medical explanation, that they seem to belong to a fevered nightmare. These are the strangest plagues history forgot, and today, on Cryptic Chronicles, we're unearthing their bewildering, unsettling stories. We'll dive into historical epidemics that defy conventional understanding, exploring baffling symptoms, mysterious origins, and the sheer terror they inflicted on communities centuries ago. Prepare to question the boundaries of medicine and the human mind, as we reveal the hidden chapters of sickness that history couldn't quite explain. Let's begin with one of the most astonishing outbreaks of mass hysteria, the Dancing Plague of 1518. In the city of Strasbourg, then part of the Holy Roman Empire, a woman named Frau Trophea stepped into the street and began to dance. She danced tirelessly, without rest, for days. Soon, she was joined by dozens, then hundreds of others. They spun, twirled, and jumped in a terrifying, uncontrollable frenzy. Within a month, an estimated 400 people were caught in this bizarre epidemic, dancing in the streets for days, even weeks, until many collapsed from exhaustion, heart attacks, or strokes. They couldn't stop. Doctors were baffled. Authorities even encouraged the dancing, believing it would cure the affliction, setting up stages and hiring musicians. But this only made the plague spread further. Theories ranged from demonic possession to divine punishment. Modern historians and medical experts often attribute it to mass psychogenic illness, perhaps triggered by extreme stress, famine, and superstition. Yet, the sheer scale, duration, and physiological intensity of this uncontrolled compulsion to dance remain a terrifying and perplexing chapter in medical history, a stark reminder of the mind's unseen power. Decades before, in 15th to 16th century England, a far more lethal and utterly bewildering affliction terrorized the population: the sweating sickness. This mysterious illness would strike with terrifying speed and lethality. Its symptoms began abruptly, a sudden feeling of dread, followed by intense chills, dizziness, severe headache, and excruciating pain in the neck, shoulders, and limbs. Within hours, victims would enter a profuse, putrid-smelling sweat. Many died within 3 to 18 hours of symptom onset, often while seemingly asleep. The speed of death and the distinctive profuse sweating baffled physicians. It was not like the bubonic plague, which had clear symptoms like buboes, nor was it smallpox. It appeared in 5 distinct waves, seemingly vanishing and reappearing without a clear pattern, and primarily affected England, though some cases appeared elsewhere in Europe. Its cause remains unknown to this day. Some speculate it was an early form of hantavirus, others a type of influenza. But the precise pathogen, how it spread so rapidly, and why it so disproportionately affected robust, active young men remain one of history's great medical enigmas, a terrifying phantom disease that would strike like lightning. Moving forward in time to the American colonies in the late 18th century, we find the real-life mystery behind Washington Irving's famous tale, the Sleepy Hollow epidemic of 1788 to 1790. In the quiet, unassuming village of Sleepy Hollow, New York, a strange illness began to take hold. Residents began experiencing extreme lethargy, profound disorientation, and terrifying, vivid nightmares. Some would fall into a deep, unresponsive sleep for days, even weeks, often accompanied by bizarre visions and psychological distress upon waking. It wasn't contagious in the typical sense, nor did it cause fever. Local doctors were completely at a loss. The affected would often claim to see spectral figures or feel immense pressure on their chests. Its non-lethal nature, combined with its bizarre neurological and psychological symptoms, made it truly unique. Modern scholars have speculated it could have been a form of encephalitis, or perhaps even a localized mass psychogenic illness, similar to the Dancing Plague, triggered by the stresses of post-Revolutionary War life. Whatever its cause, the Sleepy Hollow illness left a lasting legacy of eerie tales and unanswerable questions, blurring the lines between medical anomaly and supernatural haunting. Let's venture into the realm where disease truly blurs with monster lore. Porphyria, This is not a plague, but a group of rare genetic disorders that, when severe, can produce symptoms so extreme and terrifying that they are believed by some to have inspired the legends of vampires and werewolves. Depending on the type, porphyria can cause extreme sensitivity to sunlight, leading to severe blistering and skin lesions, reddish-brown urine, abdominal pain, and, most startlingly, neurological symptoms including paranoia, hallucinations, aggression, and extreme psychological distress. In severe cases, the skin can tighten and recede, making teeth appear more prominent, and victims may avoid sunlight, becoming nocturnal. Some also experience excessive hair growth. Imagine encountering someone in a dark, pre-modern village, suffering from severe porphyria. Disfigured by sunlight, mentally unstable, avoiding the day, and possibly aggressive. It's easy to see how such terrifying real-life symptoms, without medical explanation, could be twisted into the terrifying legends of blood-drinking night creatures or cursed shapeshifters, revealing how easily strange disease can morph into monstrous myth. Returning to collective psychological phenomena, but far more recent, is the Tanganyika laughter epidemic of 1962. This incredibly strange incident began at a mission-run boarding school for girls in Kashasha, Tanganyika, modern-day Tanzania. 3 girls began to laugh uncontrollably, and the laughter quickly spread. Within days, 95 of the 159 students were affected, laughing for hours, even days, often accompanied by crying, fainting, and respiratory problems. The school was forced to close. But it didn't stop there. The epidemic spread to other villages, closing schools and disrupting communities for months. It would flare up, subside, and then flare again. Victims were often unable to control their laughter, sometimes falling into fits of giggling or tears for extended periods. It was diagnosed as mass psychogenic illness, MPI, likely triggered by the social stresses of post-colonial life in a new nation. Yet, the sheer endurance and geographical spread of an epidemic driven solely by psychological contagion remains a remarkable and unsettling case study, demonstrating the powerful and mysterious ways the human mind can collectively malfunction. And finally, a bizarre phenomenon of the sleeping brain, exploding head syndrome. This isn't a plague, but a rare parasomnia, where a person, usually as they are falling asleep or waking up, hears a sudden, loud noise that seems to come from inside their head. It can sound like an explosion, a gunshot, a crash, or a loud bang. Crucially, the sound is entirely subjective. No external noise occurs. It's often accompanied by a flash of light, or muscle jerks, and can cause significant fear and distress, waking the person abruptly. The cause is unknown, but theories suggest it might be a temporary malfunction in the brain's on-off switch for sensory processing during sleep transitions, a kind of auditory misfire. Imagine experiencing this terrifying internal auditory bomb, night after night, in the quiet solitude of your bedroom. It's a chilling reminder of the strange, unexplained phenomena that can occur within the very organ we rely on to perceive reality. These are just a few of the strangest plagues and medical phenomena that history recorded, yet often forgot or struggled to explain. They remind us that human understanding of disease, and even the human mind itself, has vast, uncharted territories. They compel us to ponder how many other inexplicable ailments might have swept through populations, leaving behind only bewildered accounts and terrifying legends. And what hidden connections might exist between our physical and mental health, capable of creating shared realities of bizarre suffering. The allure of these strange historical sicknesses isn't just in their horror, but in what they teach us about the limits of knowledge and the enduring mysteries of our own fragile existence. What strange historical ailment or medical mystery do you find most baffling? Share your theories in the comments below. If you found this chilling dive into history's most bizarre sicknesses intriguing, hit that like button and subscribe to Cryptic Chronicles for more.